Hello and welcome to MF Corner. I'm Sonal Bhutra in the Mumbai studio. Today we'll focus on the current trends when it comes to investments in mutual fund industry by Gen Z. We'll try to understand how Gen Z should begin their investments, the categories they generally look for, what have the trends been, and more with Neelesh Verma, who is the product head and AVP mutual funds at Zerodha, who is joining us now on the show. A little later on the show, we'll discuss saving habits of young Indians with Pardhar, the VP at Angel One. So just stay tuned for that conversation as well. But Neelesh, let me begin with you. Thank you so much for joining us on CNBC-TV18 today. And, that's the next trend. Everyone hopping on to the Gen Z bandwagon, be it the mutual fund industry or the wealth advisors as well. So what are the current trends when it comes to investments by Gen Z? Which asset class are they liking mostly? What is the split looking like?
Firstly, thanks for having me on the show. And so the asset class allocation, right, is a function of the investment acumen of their trusted source, right? I was recently reading a article by my colleague Bhuvan, which is titled as "Virtues of Youthful Stupidity." So, as per in that article, as per the WF report, it quoted that there is almost like since 2020 to 2024, the investment pattern of Gen Z, like the number of investors that are coming in has doubled, and almost 50% of the current new investors in mutual fund schemes are the Gen Z investors. So if you see, investors are of two type. One, those who do their research, their learning, and use that knowledge and invest. And the second ones are who read the content available out there, right? So right now there is a burst of a lot of content out there. Everyone wants to just do what their friends are telling them or what they're learning from here and there, right? So their decisions are not always right. They can make mistakes. And right now in Gen Zs, we are seeing that, and not only Gen Zs, it's a normal investment pattern where, people learn from doing mistakes. And once they become more mature investors, when the ticket size is also increases, right? Because currently the ticket size is small. Once that increases, I think they become more serious investors, and the investment patterns or the asset allocation or the investments that we are seeing boom in currently is most of them are investing in equities and in mutual funds. In mutual funds, they are liking categories such as index funds and gold funds. We have seen a lot of inflow, small caps. So yeah.
Okay, all right. So there is no definite direction that we are seeing here. Of course, there's a lot that's going on as chatter in the society as well. But within mutual funds, you spoke about gold and small caps that they like. Is there a specific category that they like, a sector that they're looking at? What are the trends suggesting?
So we have seen a huge inflow in, equity schemes and in index funds, especially also thematic funds as well. And thematic schemes having EV exposure, right, has been an eye catcher for these investors, as what we have noticed.
Okay, so EV continues to be the big theme, not only for the industries in general who are getting on and investing there, but even for Gen Z who are looking at themes via EV where they can invest. But are they going largely for riskier investments? Is this a trend that you're seeing? Or is it a mix? They are putting it into safe bets as well, and it's a mixture. They're risk averse and risk takers as well.
So I think that's a normal generic investment pattern. We cannot here generalize whether Gen Z are liking more of riskier investments or everything, because right now they are in a journey where they have just started. Their ticket size is small and they are learning on how to invest. So they are trying their hands on each and every financial asset available over there, right? It cannot be generalized. So they are investing in, say, they are trying their hands in crypto. They are trying their hands in IPOs. IPOs are a big boom right now. Then equity investments is somewhere, derivative investments, like everything is being tried on. So I think once they will invest, they will learn from their mistakes and whatever is happening. I think in the future they'll become more mature investors, and we'll have to in future look at Gen Alpha on how they are, their perseverance is there.
Yes, generations are changing so fast that we are hopping from millennials to Gen Z to now Gen Alpha. But what about the debt category, Neelesh? Is it not a cool investment for Gen Z?
I wouldn't say that debt category is not uncool or is cool for Gen Z investors, because if you see, debt category is what, like low risk, low return. And if we see these Gen Z investors, right, they are someone like who are high risk, high returns, and they want to, like get benefit out of it at an early age, right? So it's something that I don't think so. It's something that they wouldn't be exploring right now. But yeah, once they become more mature investors and they learn about, portfolio allocation in a way where they are able to think about the futures, the investment pattern, I think it can be looked at that point of time, but not
Okay.
wrong.
Okay, all right, take that point.
Yeah.
And how should they go about starting investments? Is it a good time? Because we've been seeing a lot of volatility.
So I think to enter the markets is always a good time. It's never, we can't say that is it a good time or it's not. Being a stable investor and putting in money every time, because it's for your own future, right? So small contributions right now is a monthly or a weekly SIP of 1,000 rupees also will help them, because Gen Z has, like they have time frame of around 30 to 40 years right now to plan their own retirement, right? So right now they can take a lot of risk. They can like choose between investments, and it's always a good time. So yeah.
It's always a good time, but yes, of course, the kind of volatility that we've seen and the correction that we've seen poses the question if it is still the good time, but take that point. Last question before I let you go, Neelesh. Any fund recommendations or any category that you would suggest a Gen Z should start or continue investing in order to reap the benefits of the investments they're making today?
So index funds are something that we would suggest, and gold, obviously. So maybe the Zerodha Gold ETF FOF has recently started, so that is a good scheme. And yeah, any of the index funds, I believe, is a good call right now.
Okay, all right, take that point. Thank you so much, Neelesh, for joining in today with your take on what the investment scenario looks like when it comes to Gen Z. And as you said, now we have to look at Gen Alpha. That would be the generation taking forward all these investment avenues that we are talking about. Thank you so much for joining in today with that take. With that, we'll slip into a quick break. On the other side, Pardhar, the VP at Angel One, will join us to discuss Angel One's report on the saving habits of young Indians.